Hello, everybody. Welcome to... Oh, we do. All right. Go for it. Hannah is no longer with us.
Hannah died. Very unfortunate. We are doing an open casting call for our third guest because Hannah's gone bye-bye.
Have an empty chair.
No, Hannah's fine. She's just in Mexico. She'll be back next week. But it's just us today, big boy.
Yeah, it sure seems like she's missed a lot of these, and I've missed none, and I think we're getting paid the same.
Yeah.
So I want to discuss that with you on air.
Yeah, we can do that later.
We had an awesome conversation with a guest today, even without Hannah.
We did. Ethan Embry was our guest.
Yeah.
Big time, famous Hollywood actor guy.
He's been in so much stuff.
He's been in so much. He's wonderful. You might know him from That Thing You Do. He's the bass player.
You're going to hear a very fun behind-the-scenes story about a conversation he had to have with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's a gross story. We like to do that here. It gets gross every time.
If you're a longtime listener of our fairly new podcast, it is a story that is similar to the one Colin McHugh told us about being in the bullpen during the World Series.
Mm-hmm. But remove pitching and put in ducks.
Yeah.
You got to listen to find out what that means.
Wow. I think we may have roped everyone in to listen to this whole episode.
I think so.
Which is, at the end of the day, what these intros are for.
Yeah. So you've seen him in That Thing You Do, Empire Records, Can't Hardly Wait. He's the lead. He's so sweet in that movie. Grace and Frankie more recently. Mm-hmm. He has been in so much.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. It goes on and on. We go through some of our favorite roles of his, and he gives us some BTS stories. It's a great interview. Stick around for that.
It's going to be great. I had a show last night, corporate gig.
Cool.
Very cool startup company. The woman who booked me said that back in your Vine days, that somebody was trying to set you guys up, but you were too big time because you're famous from Vine to really be going on dates.
I don't even know who you could be talking about.
Just wanted to call you out about that. They used to have big ego about who you went on dates with.
I doubt that's what that was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she said it was you.
No, it's probably me, but I don't think I was like, no, I'm on Vine.
I think it was that you were like, I am too famous from Vine.
Yeah, for sure said that. I don't know. Sorry to that.
I just wanted to make you uncomfortable.
I feel great.
Yeah.
It was a lie. She's a liar, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, I did a fun show for a liar last night then.
Good. Yeah. Any shows coming up people can check you out in?
Oh, yeah, I got dates they're going to be released soon, but this year I'm going to be doing Cap City in Austin, Texas, and Helium in Indianapolis, and Good Nights in Raleigh, and more to be announced.
Cool. But if you're in those cities, stay tuned.
Stay tuned for date releases.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought you were married.
Yeah, got date releases. I'm on date release.
Yeah. This episode is not about golf much, just so you know. I know you listen to this for breaking golf news and analysis.
Yeah.
It's minimal golf. We touch on it.
But if you like just like general good times and interesting facts and movie stuff and funny stuff and serious stuff and recommendations, you get a lot of movies you're going to want to see after this.
Yeah. So just to round things up, Hannah's alive.
Yeah. Well, as far as of a few days ago, last time we heard from her.
That's true.
We can't guarantee in this moment.
She's out of the country, so who knows?
Yeah.
Ethan rules. You're going to love him. You're going to have some homework. You're going to watch some of these movies we talk about. For Wellness rips.
Yeah, that's still a big part of my life that I'm enjoying.
The good stuff, he's throwing that in the coffee all the time. He's all hopped up on the good stuff right now.
The superfood bites.
Yep.
On the reg. I was in Reno this weekend doing shows and didn't have lunch one day, and I was like, good thing I got a bunch of these superfood bites in my backpack.
Oof.
Hold me over. Give me the nutrients and energy that I need.
A lot of people go to Reno to do like meth. Not Andrew.
Yeah, I'm still doing superfoods even in Nevada.
That's a healthy boy right there.
Yeah.
Use code Andre, forwellness.com. Get a little discount.
Pretty big discount.
Pretty big.
Pretty nice.
Okay, that's enough. You're going to love Ethan Embry. Please stick around. Goodbye. Ethan Embry, welcome to the pod. How are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing great. What do you do in that hat? Why is it like that?
It's just been really old. I wear it. I bought it when I moved to Atlanta.
I will say it's not that old. You moved like 4 or 5 years ago.
But if you wear something every single day in the hot, humid Atlanta sweating sun, it ages quick. Like, look at the blue. That's the original color. And then that's the sweat stained. Filthy.
And you love that.
I really love this hat.
I sweat so much that I'll throw stuff away if it looks anything like that.
But wool, I mean, they say wool is supposed to absorb and insulate. So, that's what they say.
I think people would buy it like that for more than they would buy it brand new. I thought it was supposed to look like that.
I mean, isn't that a fashion
Whoa.
thing? Like you get something fancy and beat the crap out of it,
Yeah.
and then sell it for more.
Like if your jeans
Yeah.
have one hole, that looks bad. But if you have a
Right.
ton of holes, you're like,
Right.
that's style,
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, that's 1 of 1.
And then I have my Jimmy Carter button because he's my favorite.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
Look at that. It's so Atlanta. Look at you. You're fully assimilated.
You know, well, I have decided recently though that I can't root for the Dodgers anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. You know,
You have been wearing that hat a lot more because you were a LA classic Dodgers hat forever.
I've been a Dodger fan, but like, come on, how
many-
much money are
too
you
many
gonna spend?
Japanese players.
Just yeah, it's exactly. I have fully assimilated.
it.
Oh my god, I'm Southern.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome to Atlanta.
That's good. I'm glad to hear
We
that.
only get players from, continents that border us.
Yeah. Continents that border us. That's true. That's good. There's a lot of things I want to cover here. One, I just want to know, every time I see you, there's a new hobby.
Yeah, I do have a lot.
Aaron told me you make rugs.
I haven't started making rugs yet, but I have watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to make rugs.
Okay.
If you
So
ask
that's the
me,
gateway
hey,
rug.
what is one of the... if somebody said, what's one of the steps in making a rug? I would say, I don't know.
Well, it's particularly felt. I was just really curious, like, how do they make felt? Because I love wool, obviously. So how do you take a sheep's wool or even a beaver? You could do a beaver fur. You could do it with your dog's fur. How do you take a fur and make wool out of it? This really dense, what's resilient fabric, and all you do is like rub it together, and then it starts sticking. It's crazy.
That's it?
That's it. You
Rug
wet it and
factories are...
that's all they're doing.
They're starting
No,
fires.
they literally have a big ass machine where they squish the wool and move it back, and then you got felt.
It's crazy.
And so I watched this video of this Iranian dude, like laying out the fabrics that he dyed in certain with specific colors, and laying it out in front, and then he just rolls it up and he like moves it in his feet and unrolls it. Boom, felt rug, beautiful felt rug.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
all the felt I have is just Iranian foot labor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or like there's, Etsy videos of chicks in West Virginia making little felt stuff.
Got it.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to start felting myself. I mean, felting, I am going to start felting.
Good.
I'm not going to felt myself.
You needed a comma in there.
Yeah, it's hard to, communicate punctuation in this medium.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so. This time it's rugs. The previous time you brought a cake, and you're like,
Yep,
I
yep.
made this cake.
I made a cake for your New Year's
It
party.
was a very good cake.
It was all right. When you heated it, it was pretty good.
Yeah. By the next morning, it was all gone.
I'm
Everyone
proud
loved
of
it.
you. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I had a baby slice. It was everyone else.
Great.
You think I ate that cake? The
I
whole
don't
cake?
know. I would have.
All right.
The way
It's
you
been
said,
a rough few
the way
months,
you
but it's
said
not
it-
that bad.
The way you said it made it sound like you stayed up all night and ate the cake.
Eating cake.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ringing in the new year. Yeah.
The next morning, it was gone.
Yeah. And then the time before that was you're like, I just built all new cabinets.
I did build. Yeah, I got into woodworking. I got a little crazy on the woodworking. It's a lot of fun woodworking.
Those are all so useful.
Yeah. I always think of the beginning of the movie The Patriot where he's trying to make a rocking chair.
Yeah.
And then he just it
Sits in it,
looks
it breaks.
good, breaks, throws it in the pile of all the other shrapnel from the rocking chairs.
Was it Brad Renfro that was making the rocking chair, or Mel Gibson?
It was Mel Gibson.
Mel. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Did you have a big pile of discarded cabinets, or did you get it all in the first try?
No, man, YouTube is like, well, no, not all first try. You do, there's a learning curve. But the thing I didn't want to have the learning curve on was the injury. So I watched a lot of like how you lose fingers videos, and that may have scarred me and made it take longer than it should.
You watched videos that were like how to lose fingers,
Or
and
how
then just,
did he lose
just
his
said,
finger?
Don't do this.
Yeah, yeah. And it happens so fast.
It's a lot on that table saw.
Table saw, routers, band saws. Like it's all of them will completely destroy your hands.
God.
Or even worse if you're wearing like a necktie or have long hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, don't like that.
But I think that's where the zen comes from with woodworking, because like I used to ride motorcycles. And when you're on a motorcycle, you can't think about anything else but where you're going, and the road in front of you. It's very zen. But I don't ride them anymore because I don't want to die. But woodworking, like there's the same element of zen mixed with great frustration because of all the math that's involved in it. But I really like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you lose focus, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta stay locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's safer than on the motorcycle. Your whole body is the finger.
Exactly.
So
that's why I don't ride them anymore.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
Well, there's our episode title right
you
there.
You ride a motorcycle, it doesn't make your kitchen look more beautiful at all.
It doesn't, and it doesn't save you any money. It just costs.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't eat your motorcycle at our New Year's party.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't make a hat out of a
can't,
motorcycle.
As much as I try, it won't go down.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, our kitchen cabinets, even just getting somebody to paint them, I was like, I probably could not do this.
Painting is the worst part.
Is it?
That's the part that sucks the most. Yeah. That's the hardest part.
I love everyone's gonna be like, you had Ethan Embry on your podcast. You just
Talked about wood.
you talked about cabinets for
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Well, I would imagine like golf. I don't play golf myself, but I would imagine that's the same zen, like mixed with extreme frustration and extreme feeling of zen is probably similar, right?
Maybe.
Or is it all just
I don't know
frustration?
anyone who's lost a finger in golfing. I don't know. It's so easy to think about anything else. It's not like
Oh, it is.
if you think about anything else, you'll hit a bad shot in your
Maybe
rounds.
that's why people like it.
It's lower stakes.
It is an
Okay.
escape still,
It is an escape.
and I think it
It's
depends.
just hard
on,
to stay locked in.
I think it depends on the person. I think some people go out there and they just living and dying with how they're playing,
Yep.
and some people are just like, I'm just gonna enjoy being outside. And if I play good, that's a bonus.
That's a good point.
I'm not that way,
No.
but
Yeah, some people are just good times. You know? You just want a good time.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
But
That's good. We checked the box. That was our golf talk. It was a
Hey,
golf
I
podcast.
mentioned it.
Now we can move on. Thank God.
Yeah. Ever been in any golf movies?
I have not been in any golf.
Good
movies.
segue.
I haven't.
Merge 'em.
I haven't. But my current favorite golf character in a movie is. Have you guys watched the new season of Fargo?
No.
It's great.
Dude, I'm rewatching the earlier seasons now too
So
because I
good.
got a taste of the new season. It's like I got to go back and watch season 2 of Fargo.
It's great.
I think is one of the best seasons of a television show I've ever seen, including
there.
like Sopranos, Wire, like all
Yeah.
like out of like season 2 is like perfect. to
Is that
me.
Jesse Plemons? That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. The cast in it is nuts. Even
All of
from
it.
little minor characters like Nick Offerman plays like a very minor character and just like is amazing.
Yeah. Who's the golfer? The new one.
The golfer is the female sheriff's husband, and he's not great. He's won like one tournament,
Yeah.
and now he's put them $195,000 in debt with
so
like
funny.
buying golf screens.
He has a
and-
simulator in his
Yeah.
garage, but like they're in tremendous debt.
And he just sits
the
there and
wife is a
swinging.
police officer who works so hard, and he's just like, and they're all North Dakota, like, babe, you gotta work a little harder. I gotta get more lessons so I can go back and win in Hilton Head.
And every time she goes home, all you hear in the background is,
Yeah,
but and then like
great.
the simulator applause.
but it is one of those classic things where they clearly did not hire an actor that plays golf.
Oh, his swing is horrible.
His swing is
I did
so
see that clip on Twitter.
bad.
Yeah. And,
And
everyone is not pleased.
No,
And it was
nobody.
supposed to be a drive, and he brought it like a quarter back.
He doesn't take a full backswing when he's practicing his drives in the simulator.
Oh,
But
I
apparently
don't
he's
golf
supposed to
and
have
I
won
caught that.
tournaments. Yes, exactly. It's like, what's that? There's that scene that always gets brought up of the guy who's like practicing. He's the quarterback that's practicing, but he just throws it
A
like
high school quarterback is always a thing. They're like,
it's just like throwing it like little sidearm short
babe, stop
throws.
distracting me. I got a big game tonight.
Yeah, and just like
Awful.
he's like throwing a frisbee.
which is a lot like when movies have musicians too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I was really impressed by in the new season of Fargo. The young girl sits down at a drum set and plays drums, and she was slaying it, and
Yeah.
she was playing the drums that they were showing on air.
That's awesome.
And if you're a musician and in the movie there's a music scene and their fingers are not lining up or the drummer is way off, it just takes you right out,
I know not all movies can do it, but like Miles Teller going away for 6 months and learning drums for Whiplash. I know
Yeah.
budgets don't allow for.
Was he a
that.
drummer before, or was he learned for that movie?
I don't know, but he's so good.
So good.
It
So
fooled
good.
me. I mean, I'm not a musician, so I would be the last person to be able to detect if there was something like
Yeah,
fishy about it.
But not for a second did his drumming in the movie take you
Yeah, it
out
did, yeah.
of the
Didn't
movie.
pull you up
You
at all.
believed it completely.
But have you ever been in a role where they're like, yeah, you're perfect for this, but can you do these specific skills? And you're like, I mean, I could. Like
Like the classic, yes, I ride a horse, and then you
Exactly.
get there, and it's like, I'm allergic to horses.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on a merry-go-round. It's probably pretty much the same.
Totally the same.
My uncle was an actor in LA for a bunch of years, and the story he told me was he was cast in it was a beer commercial.
Okay.
And it was like he had to be on a kayak going down a waterfall, and they asked him if he could kayak, and he was like, "Yeah,
Sure, and everybody can kayak.
And then he got there, and it was like,
I can float.
you needed to be a professional kayak. It was like they thought he did it mainly
Olympics.
and then acted as a hobby. And I think he did it, but he was like, I might die. Like, I need to try to. I'll get him to send me the video of it because the commercial came out, and you can see in his eyes.
So even on set, once they can't turn back, he didn't tell them. He was like, I'm just going to go over this waterfall.
Yeah, he told me the story so long ago.
Those beer commercial residuals are impressive. Like I'd go off the waterfall too.
For sure.
I think that was probably part of it.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the most you've had to learn for a role?
Probably on that thing you do.
Yeah.
Probably.
You weren't a bass player before?
I mean, a little, but I played. I could hold a bass and I could tune a bass. And bass at that time was my instrument. But the amount of rehearsals that we did to learn the songs, because they had the same opinion. If you're making a music movie, your music has to match what's being played. Yep. So we would go in 5 times a week, numerous hours a day, and then go in on weekends when we were shooting. So for a long time, I hated that song. Like I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I only liked the songs that we would play occasionally because it was overplayed in my head. I like it now because I haven't heard it in 25 years.
It's a great song.
It's
I listened
pretty
to
great.
it 3 times in a row driving here. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Probably listen to it on the
It's
way
fun
home.
to hear in the grocery store too.
Yeah.
Like,
And
hey.
my birthday parties over the years. Remember what? My birthday parties over the years. Remember when I do that to you and Sonny?
Yeah,
I did that several times.
You did it. You did. I remember you did is it Lone Star that Sonny was in the video?
So Sonny, Ethan's wife, we were Vine friends back in the day. That's how I know Ethan originally.
Yep.
She was in several music videos. Nookie by Limp Bizkit.
She got great Nookie stories.
Yeah.
What's that dude's name?
Fred Durst.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And Amazed by Lone Star. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Baby, I'm amazed by you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like 3 birthdays in a row. Y'all came, thank you.
Yep.
And I was on the Oxford, and I would just.
Was it a birthday in New York when
Yeah.
we met?
Yeah, it was first
That
time.
was a birthday party. Yep.
But I'm always the Oxford guy. Like I love a playlist.
Aaron really likes control.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
for sure. So they'd walk in, and I'd had a few drinks, and I'd play that thing you do in Amaze back to back, and they're always like,
Were they back
"Thanks,
to
I
backs?
guess."
That's
Do you do
great.
That is a wild.
Was that on your? Was that in New York that you did that? I hope you did that the first time we met.
I don't know if I did the first time.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
I mean, it's okay.
I don't know, maybe.
We're a lot. All of us are a lot.
Yeah, it's a good song. Is what we're getting at. That also. We'll do another little. I'm gonna do a breakdown of some roles of yours.
Okay.
But we are on that thing you do.
Okay.
So I know there was a moment there. I'd love for you to tell our audience
really
and
like
Andrew
this
about.
story.
It's my favorite story in the world.
You
Aaron,
really,
Aaron
really.
told me before you got here, he goes, we got to get Ethan to tell the story. And I'm not going to tell it to you because I want you to hear it from him for the first time.
So I'm going to tell it to you.
Yeah, just tell it. I'm
heard it.
I feel like I'm listening to the podcast right now, not a host.
Yeah, I ask every guest. Do you ever shit yourself on the set of that thing you do? And everyone said no.
No.
Aaron,
so far.
Well, Aaron has brought up if he knows that one of our guests has pooped themselves, it brings
this
it
a
up
running
first.
theme?
He made Colin McHugh
Running
talk
theme?
about it. Like
Pretty good.
it is definitely a running thing.
Yeah, our friend Colin shit himself on the mound in the World Series. Like, how can he not talk about that?
Amazing.
Yeah, he had a little brown
Really?
stain on his white Astros pants.
No.
His ass blows pants. Am I right? Got him.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow. He must have
Nailed
been
it.
throwing gas.
Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
So when we were shooting that thing you do, one of the locations, the theater that we were filming at, was an old vintage theater downtown in the middle of Los Angeles. And right down the street was a farm supply store. And I went for a little walk during lunch, and I just found myself in this farming supply store, and they had ducks, little baby chicklets. That they were selling.
like alive.
Yeah, little baby live, still yellow, cute ducks.
You think they sell
I don't know. I don't know if they're
dead ducks for
delicacy.
snakes or something?
Well, I don't know. Like baby lambs, or you're supposed to eat those, and it's better. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the same with little chickens. I was homeschooled. I don't know a lot of stuff. I should know more about
Chicken wings are
animals.
full-grown chickens.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's the veal.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Chicken veal.
Oh, so these are alive ducks.
So they're live ducks,
Little
and
ducks.
they're adorable. Like, the ducklings are just they're incredible. So I couldn't resist. I was 16, maybe 17, 16 probably. So I bought myself a duck for like $5.
Yeah.
And I named the duck Salvador Ducky. And it would follow me. Eventually, it was following me around everywhere. I'd keep it in my pocket and feed it, feed it breadcrumbs and stuff like that, and developed a relationship with this duck over a few weeks.
And everyone on set was like, "Oh, it's our set
There's
duck.
Ethan
This is
with
great."
the duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There you go. There were a lot of other problems that I created on that show, like showing up to work on a period film with painted fingernails and wearing a dress to our table read. There were, it was the 90s. Anyway, so I have this duck, and you see in like National Geographic and stuff, like, don't ducks feed their chicks with their mouths? I don't know. Do they do that? I did that with the duck.
You chew up the food for it,
or just put it in my mouth. I don't think I
know that as a bird.
It.
I know that that's as like a nesting bird thing. I don't know if I know that about ducks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like Lady in the Tramp?
Yeah, kind of.
You would like chew food and it would like get in there.
Or just put like a little piece in, and then
more
kiss
of
the
a
duck.
Yeah,
I'm
on board still.
So,
our dog sleeps in the bed with us.
Right, it's very similar.
It's intimate with a
very
pet.
similar.
Yeah.
So there was a big day at the fair. It was the fairground scenes when we're all wearing red, and we're playing in front of our biggest audience yet, and the chanterlines are there, and it's like it's our right. We had many extras. It was a big shooting day, and I wasn't feeling great. And we're up there and we're doing the song, and I'm like, I have a
That's in
fever.
playing bass, by the way.
Yeah,
It is really good.
You look like Trump doing an impression.
You know,
felt like that,
I know
too.
the one you're talking about.
That's all I have now. It's
Just
so
clarifying that was
far.
bass. That was the bass.
A bass impression with no guitar in your hands is a lot like Trump making fun of.
But also me making fun of myself when I was 16.
Yeah,
I just
true.
don't
That's
have
right.
it anymore.
I get it.
There's been a lot of change over the last 35 years. But I shit myself while playing on set.
Yep.
Um,
Is this a full release?
Full release. Wow. Yeah.
I cannot wait to figure out how the duck plays back into this.
Oh, the duck part's over. This is
that was just a separate story.
But I crapped myself. I had to tell Tom that I had not been feeling great.
Tom Hanks.
I don't
Yep.
mean to. Yeah, that's right. I thought you were joking, but yeah, that is Tom Hanks.
Just clarify. You said Tom.
I had to tell
What
Tom.
if I had told Tom Everett Scott?
You had to tell.
I might have
That's a good
told
point.
Tom Everett Scott first,
Yep.
and he may have said, "Tell the boss."
the
Tom."
drummer.
You had to tell Tom Hanks that you pooped you in your pants.
Yes, because he's the director. Like, hey, I don't feel good. I think I know I shat myself.
I'm not trying to be gross. How much?
A fair amount.
A quart?
It
Like,
came
did
out.
you have to go somewhere, or could you?
No.
Was it contained?
No, the day was over.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it, these were all handmade,
Very specific red.
very
Period
specific.
specific. No pun intended.
Yep, tailored
Nice.
by an award-winning costumer, and thankfully they were peg-legged. So a lot of it was soaked up as
Sealed.
it came down
Sealed,
my.
yeah.
I can remember it was my left leg.
Yeah.
That's how much came out of my ass.
Yeah.
That I remember specifically. The vast majority went down the left side, and I think I was wearing Beetle boots.
Okay.
It was a mess.
What do you mean beetle boots?
The kind like the they're black. They don't have laces. They got a little short ankle.
I was scared you were going to say these are the
Paul
Beatles
McCartney's
wore these
boots
boots because
they
you were
wanted us
kind of
to
doing
wear.
a Beatles cosplay thing.
Yeah, they
like,
wanted us
oh,
to
no.
wear the actual Beatles shoes just for this scene as a.
Just
They're
this
going to back to the
one
museum
day.
as soon as we're done shooting.
Right. Yep. Yes, I did have to go somewhere, and the only trailer that we had that had a shower in it was Tom Hanks's new Airstream.
Explain.
It's a beautiful. He had done it all. He had done it all in white. You know, it was gorgeous.
What movie was
inside.
he just coming off?
Like, yeah, I mean, this was during the Tom Hanks peak,
Yeah.
like Philadelphia, and I don't think he'd done
Sleeps was
Castaway
in
yet.
Seattle, maybe.
Oh, that would all because what
Okay.
is it, 96 or 7 that we shot the movie?
No matter how big you get, somebody can still just be washing poop off themselves in your private jet at any moment.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder.
Wow.
That we're all human.
And they had to lay down cardboard path for me to walk through.
Because you were dripping.
So there were a lot of people involved in helping you resolve this.
Yeah. So I got cleaned up, got the wardrobe back to the poor costumer.
Are you feeling any better?
No, I feel miserable.
So
And they-
you're also like, this could happen again.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm not doing great. So I go back to the hotel. They send a doctor to the hotel, and I had given myself dysentery. Hence, the duck returns. The duck gave me dysentery, and I remember
Dysentery.
I'm not sure. I'm just thinking of you saying something mean to your friend Terry. I'm dysentery. Dysentery. That's I think I associate dysentery with like,
The Oregon Trail.
yep. And I was thinking like military, like
Oh,
maybe not.
you died of
I think
dysentery.
Oregon
It was.
Trail. What is dysentery? Is what I'm getting
it's a
at.
bacteria, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a viral
Like
infection.
duck diarrhea.
You know, I think it's a bacteria of some sort. that
And you got
get
it from the
farm
duck.
animals. Yeah,
Got
I
it.
mean, I would imagine.
from French kissing your duck.
Yeah, and I still remember Gary Getzman, who's Tom Hanks's right hand man. He was standing there and just
What
because
is
he
it called?
knew when they said dysentery, he knew.
Yeah.
Like he could.
We saw you tonguing down this duck.
Yeah.
At table.
You were
reads.
making a whole show of it.
Yep.
Oh man. What happened to the duck? Oh no.
So I was on location for this period. We were shooting down in Pomona, so we were staying at a hotel near the fairgrounds. So the ducks stayed at my house, and my sister, who at the time was like 12, so it's not her fault, was watching the duck.
You call your sister and she's like, "What's going on? I just got done feeding the duck." And you're just like, "Oh no."
But yes, I did relay that the duck had given me dysentery. So I was asked, like, where's Salvador? He's got dysentery.
Tell Salvador.
Stop what you're doing. Get your tongue out of the duck's mouth. Okay, okay, what happened?
But she had thought the best place for Salvador to hang out was in the bathtub because ducks.
Ducks, water, lovely.
Yep,
sense.
but couldn't get out of the bathtub.
Yeah. Wow. So he's now living on a farm somewhere.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
heaven.
that's great. Doing great.
Farm heaven.
Did you bounce back vibes wise? Did everyone hate you at the end of that movie, or they're like,
I mean,
You
I
get
was
'em back.
I was 16.
yeah,
You know, things are okay now
Yeah.
in my 40s.
it took 20 years, but it's fine now.
I haven't talked to Tom.
I get that.
Speaking of Fargo, season 1, Colin Hanks.
Yeah,
in
great
Fargo.
dude, by
Was
the way.
He's
Such a
probably
lovely
similar
guy.
age, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, so he
But
wouldn't have
Colin
been
is
there.
such a lovely dude. He's a really good guy.
I always love him.
I
and
like
stuff.
him.
Seems wonderful.
Very talented too. Really good in Fargo.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime some people that don't have that accent, and it seems like they're all
Very
nailing
hard
it.
accent.
Because who's the lead in this new season that was in the soccer show? Ted Lasso. It's Keely in Ted Lasso.
I'm so bad with
I think
names.
she's
I'm so bad.
British, but she's
Yeah, I
doing
think
this
she's
North Dakota
British,
accent
yeah.
so well. It's so
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Which is not as like British and Southern, I think, are very similar. I think that they like live in the same place in your mouth, and if you're a Southerner or if you're British doing Southern it's
Interesting.
adjacent, I think. But Midwest, like, what is it French? That's
Where
what
does
is
it come
that?
from? Is it Canadian?
Yeah.
Canadian, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wish Hannah was here to defend herself.
Yeah. But the one.
but she doesn't have an accent. Does she? Do you think she got rid of her accent?
It comes out in some words. She says, like a lot of us, you go home and you kind of pick it up real quick.
Right.
So I'm
Okay.
sure she just moved down here. It's been 5 or 6 years and it's
Right.
slowly
Okay.
faded. But
she can do it. If
She
you
can do
ask
it.
her to.
She can do it really
yeah.
well.
It's
Okay.
in there.
yeah.
Got it.
No doubt.
I've got some fun questions I want to throw out at you.
Okay.
Director or directors, that's an immediate yes. You get that call, your agent's like, this person wants to work with you. You're like, I'm in.
I mean, the list of yeses are so long.
So long? Like no script.
yeah.
You don't even need to see a script. You're just immediate.
Yeah.
Pick like 2.
I mean, like that are my favorite right now.
Favorite?
I mean, the obvious answer this year is Nolan and Gerwig. You know.
Cool.
But yeah, the list of incredible directors is just.
And it would go into the immediate yes.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, some directors like I've never even. So I've worked with some incredible directors, but I've only worked with a few that are known for their extreme talent. And I did a Ridley Scott movie when I was young, and I think Tom Hanks is an incredible director.
Yeah.
And then there was a film that I just did where the director was really very talented at making their actors feel safe emotionally. Like, for some reason, I felt like I could access sorrow and pain and guilt and like that. And it was because of how she communicated with us. But some directors are just like, Leo is incredible. But he's also worked with the best directors that have ever existed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Tarantino. Like, and I hear the way Tarantino works just sounds like so much fun.
Which is what?
I did a movie this summer, and the boom op on it has done a few Tarantino films. And he says there's 2 rules on Tarantino sets. No phones. If he sees a phone, you're off the crew list. Awesome. Great. Everybody's there. And if you fall asleep, there's a wall. And I guess if you fall asleep on set, they bring out the purple dildo and take a Polaroid of you, and you get put on the wall.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun. How often does that happen?
Apparently the wall gets big, you know?
A lot of night shoots.
Making movies is hard,
Yeah.
you know? Yep.
Wow, that's cool. I wonder if it's the same purple dildo from all of his movies. If it's the same
Is there a
one.
purple dildo in all of his movies?
Well, no, I mean like from the set of yeah. If you really if you really are looking for it the whole
How
time.
did they put it in Hateful Eight?
Yeah, Django. It was weird in Django. It just did not make sense.
Yeah. But no, the list is long of
That's hilarious.
directors.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't think I have any that wouldn't, you know? I don't think I do. Well,
what do you
no.
mean? What do you mean?
I do.
You'd say yes to any director?
No.
No, some immediate no's.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, Woody Allen, I'm not. Nope.
Yep,
Sure.
not touching that.
Nope. Ain't going
He's
there.
also not allowed on the podcast, Woody.
Yeah,
F
stop,
off, bud.
Stop emailing us about it.
You're out of here. What about person you've learned the most from on set? Either an actor or director?
on set.
Yeah. Of like how to do what you do.
Ed O'Neill. Yeah.
Cool.
Ed O'Neill. Yeah. When I was young, the things that he's the guy that taught me that even though as an actor you get special treatment and a lot of things are catered towards you, when you're on a set, you're no different than anybody else there working. It's a collaborative endeavor, and nobody can make a movie on their own.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's the only purely collaborative art form.
No, that's so
Go
healthy to
through all the
learn
other
that.
art forms.
And in a profession where ego can become such a factor, to be told that early
Right.
on and have that in your mind as you grow and
Yep.
become more and more.
Really cool dude, that guy.
That's awesome.
Ed. And probably the wealthiest man in Hollywood.
Whoa.
Like low key. You know? I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You know, he created the Fox network with Married with Children and Simpsons and Cops, but he's one of the first.
He's doing all right.
He's doing fine. And then Modern Family.
Yeah. Yeah. Those residuals. That's never not on TV.
And I hear that he was like, nope, don't want to do it. Nope, don't want to do
Really?
it. Nope, don't want to do it. And then was like, oh my gosh, you're going to give me that. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. How about underrated actors or up and coming that you're like, I adore what they're doing. I think they're going to be the next thing.
Wow. Well, I did just work with this. So the film I just did up in Pittsburgh, story about a young gymnast in the 90s. And the film did a nationwide search for this girl because they wanted to use a real gymnast. And so they sent out a casting notice to every gym saying, hey, if you're X years old and you'd like to be involved in this film, throw us together a little blah, blah. And they found this girl.
Yeah, I think my uncle submitted for that. He's like, I could do it.
Female director, thank God. But they found this girl, Brittany Wheeler, and she's never done anything. This was her first day on a set. That was her first audition. And who she was the first day of rehearsal versus who she had become on our last scene was insane.
Whoa.
Because you take like the work ethic of a gymnast, of an elite gymnast.
Yeah.
It's just like focused and figure out what's broken, what needs to be to make this, and apply that to this, and then have also the same emotional intelligence that she has. Pretty dope.
Cool.
That is really cool to take somebody, put them in a new hard thing, but what they've been doing in their main thing requires so much dedication and focus and hard work that it's like, yeah, of course they can kind of do whatever they put that mentality towards.
Exactly.
And are going to get better.
And if they
so
have
fast.
the talent that's needed to do this new craft.
Yeah. And that's a hell of a craft too. Not to diminish your work as like learning some baselines.
Right.
But becoming like an elite gymnast, you can't just, hey, train for a couple months.
And imagine what her possibility could be also. Like you put somebody that can do a standing double back tuck in a spider lady suit.
Yeah.
Like forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Are those the end of my fun little questions? What about the most fun you've ever had on set? Like looking back, you're like, that was the absolute best situation I've ever been a part of.
You know, the ones that I always think about are the ones that took me to amazing places, like the Ridley Scott movie that I
Sweet
mentioned.
Home Alabama, you're in Eufaula, Alabama.
And
probably up there.
Athens,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah.
What is the
You know?
Ridley Scott movie?
White Squall.
Okay, I don't know.
Jeff Bridges was the lead. And it's a true story about a guy in the 60s that had a school at sea. And there was a horrible storm that occurred.
Wow.
So it was 8 young actors and Jeff Bridges and out at sea. And we went to 11 different countries and lived on a boat for 6 months. And it was amazing. I was 16.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable experience.
That's so cool.
Yep. And then I did this movie when I was 13. Maybe I turned 13 in Africa. The middle of Africa. Like there's a portion of the film where our characters are lost in the desert. So they created an airstrip in the most remote area in the world. And we flew in there and we lived in tents for 4 weeks in the middle of nowhere. And it was unbelievable.
Wow.
That's so cool. Was there like a lot of like African wildlife where you guys were?
Yeah, we had guys surrounding the camp, fully armed with very high-powered rifles, you know, rhino incidences. Like I remember one day, a mother rhino and...
Talking about Republican and name only?
You were
They're out there? What are they doing? Get them out of there.
you were trying to feed the baby rhinos with your mouth. They don't have horns yet. I can.
They can nibble a little bit.
they're so cute, those little baby rhinos.
Yeah, you just keep all the animals like stop trying to feed these animals with your mouth.
Right, I think
feed them at all. They keep trying to come in our camp.
This has happened. I think Ethan has a thing.
Ethan likes dysentery.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Wait, we can't skip past rhino incidents. What? Wait, did something happen?
Yeah, there was a rhino, you know, like we were situated between a mother and her baby. And there was this incredible...
like, go around.
Go around. In the Mitch
We're
Hedberg
locked up.
voice, go
We're
around.
Yeah. Quiet on set. Jeez.
Our animal wrangler, this incredible woman, grabbed like everybody's trying to climb a tree. and she just grabbed this huge log and stuck it in front of her head and started running at the mother. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is okay?
Wait. Say it one more time.
There was a big, like this big of a.
Was she simulating a horn?
Log, yeah. Stuck it in front of her head and started running at the mother, yelling. "Ah!"
Okay, so she was African.
No, she did live in Africa, but she was a white woman, so probably Afrikaans.
Yeah. Just because you can't be like a Hollywood used to cats and dogs.
No.
Here's some rhinos and elephants.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
So is that a rhino technique? Pretend to be a rhinoceros and run at them?
I mean, apparently she went right into reflex, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is great. This is why we do the podcast. People are learning a lot.
If you ever come across a rhino,
I mean, I know a lot about what
Find
to
a
do
big stump.
for running into a bear. You know, it's like you play dead, don't climb a tree.
Well, apparently,
but
depending on the bear,
strap a big log to your head and run at it and make rhinoceros noises.
Yeah, you just be like, rhino, hold on.
I did hear that
Or
it
the
depends
stumps.
on the
Yeah.
type of bear that you encounter.
That's true.
You know, like a grizzly, you're supposed to just lay there and like take a beating. I think you play dead.
Yeah.
And then like a black bear or just a regular brown bear, you're supposed to try and scare them
Get
off.
loud.
And then a polar bear, you got to pray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's
there's nothing to do with the polar
If it's a
bear.
bear in Midtown, just say hello. Normal.
Hey, what's
They're
up?
normal.
What's going
Cool.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have bears here, though, don't we? Just a little further north.
Oh, yeah.
Black bears.
But mostly black bears.
Yep.
I don't think we have any big bad brown bears.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, GQ does their YouTube series that's actors breaking down their roles.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Before they snag you, we're going to jump the gun on them.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw out some of your most memorable roles and just give us a little fact.
Okay.
If it's,
what comes to
you
mind?
remember about the audition process,
Okay.
something from set,
Great.
what you think of the project.
Yep.
We're going all the way back Dutch.
Whoa. Well, when you say that name, it immediately brings up this story where I went to Leo's birthday party, and
Leonardo DiCaprio.
yep, and I remember we had tested together for This Boy's Life, and I remember I was like, "Hey, yeah, we met at the This Boy's Life audition." He's like, "Yeah, no, actually, we met at the Dutch audition." I'm glad I got the one I got.
I got the one I got.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. You were how old were you then when that movie came out?
When
You were a
we
little guy.
When we did it, I think I was 10 or 11, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Empire Records.
Empire Records was a lot of fun. North Carolina, living on the beach in Wilmington. And I just think of Alan Moyle, the director, who also directed Pump Up the Volume. Have you guys seen that? With Christian Slater. Great movie.
All right.
And I didn't love Empire Records for a long time until I learned, because I didn't know that people had been watching it for a long time, that it had kind of become a cult classic thing. And once I learned how much people enjoy it, I grew an affinity for it. So I enjoy it today.
Cool.
Yep.
That thing you do. We got some facts, but
I
give
mean,
us someone else.
How could anything else stand out?
It's such a great movie.
It is awesome.
really
It's
is.
so
such
good.
a movie.
It really is a really good through and through. And I haven't seen they did a re-release, didn't they? Like a recut. I haven't
I
seen
didn't know
it.
that.
I think there is like maybe a
think
longer
I've just
cut
seen the original.
of it. I haven't seen it.
And what was the anniversary y'all just had? Didn't y'all just do like a reunion anniversary situation?
We did.
25
25?
years?
Yeah, we did when Schlesinger passed away from
that's what it
COVID.
was. Yeah.
But there was a reunion, not a reunion, but a anniversary of it. It's something like 25. It must be longer than that because I'm 45.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it's 35, maybe.
Wow.
It might be 35.
Tell me, Steve.
No, my math is bad.
Wait, what year? It came out in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be like 25.
It would be 25
If it was 98.
because I would have done it when I was 10. No, it's 25.
Yeah.
We're 30.
Might be 30.
You're 16?
Yeah, it might be 30.
All right.
We are not mathematicians.
No one is going to be able to listen to this podcast. Like, we figure it out before we move on.
I think one of the most underrated comedic actors ever is Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn is he's brilliant. And
Yeah.
he's such a lovely dude, too. He's such a good man.
I think he is, in any role, just stands out. He's just so funny.
Yep.
I mean, even watching White Lotus, I guess he's in season 1.
Yep.
So funny.
He's great in it.
He's so great.
He's great in it.
Saving Silverman. It's such a dumb,
Consistently
amazing movie.
from-
Yeah, everything.
What was the movie in the 90s that was it's not Gone in 60 Seconds. There was a movie that was popular in the 90s that
I
kind
know-
of kicked him off.
Oh, there's National Security.
It was a
Martin
comedy.
Lawrence.
It's not
Was
Gone
it-
in 60
what-
Seconds. It's
there's
Producer
one-
Paul's on
No,
it.
there's one with Matthew McConaughey.
Sahara.
Sahara. That's what I'm thinking of.
But that was
I love
Right
him in
on.
Sahara.
yeah. And then what is the Perfect Getaway? That like thriller.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's a fun twist.
Dope.
I think Sahara
Timothy
was one of those
Olyphant,
movies
Steve Zahn.
that I watched maybe 15 times.
But he's been doing it forever, and he's just consistently great.
Yeah, in everything.
Yep.
Paul, what we got? Okay.
Don't yell at him when he's not ready.
I thought he was ready.
Like mid 90s. Early.
You've got mail.
He was in You Got Me?
Yeah, he was in the bookstore.
Dope.
It's a little shop around the corner.
Suburbia was really great.
Stuart
No,
Little.
Not Stuart Little.
That's probably the main.
I don't know.
Is he the dad in Stuart Little? What
He
is-
was in Reality Bites.
He was the mouse.
He was the
No,
mouse.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. All right. Well, let's keep going. Vegas vacation.
Shooting in Vegas is really hard.
Really?
Yeah, my son is there making a movie right now. But like filming in casinos, operating open casinos, specifically with Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, is tough. Because there's a certain window where casinos are at their most quiet, and that's like 3 a.m. to 9 a.m.
And they are not shutting down.
They're not going to shut down. Nope. You get a little wing that they put a rope around, and you can go work there at this time slot.
Wow.
So it was long nights in the casinos.
Yeah.
And I remember the days I wasn't working. Like, what am I going to do? I'm 17. I'm in Vegas. They don't let you do anything. So I went and I worked the production crew. And I would do lockups and like background, like running the background actors.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like in Old Town Vegas, keeping crowds of drunk people from accosting Chevy while they were walking up and down.
He was as A-list as it gets then, right?
He was. Yeah. It was the start of his.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
You know, I think A-list as it gets for Chevy. That's probably the first one.
Okay. So it was the
You know?
beginning of that. Gotcha.
Or Christmas, I guess he was still pretty on top of the world. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he used to be so great.
Yeah. Yeah, heard the stories from Community.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yep. Same.
Yep.
Can't hardly wait. You lived out a lot of people's dreams, including my own,
With the Love Hewitt.
with the last scene.
Yeah.
That was a dream of mine for a little bit.
Also
Not
a lovely
anymore.
lady. Lovely lady.
She seems wonderful.
Yep,
Describe
she
what
really
you're
is.
talking about for our listeners that may have not.
Ethan made out with Jennifer Love Hewitt
Yeah.
at a train
On
station.
film.
right?
On film.
On film.
Yeah.
Which means you can relive it anytime you want. I'm just kidding. No, sorry. Okay.
All of us can.
All of us can.
Whenever I think about that, I think about Charlie Korsmo, the kid that played, I Can't Feel My Legs. What was his character name in it?
I don't know.
Amazing
Oh.
child actor. He was in Dick Tracy and Hook and What About Bob?
Hook.
Like the guy was on a roll, and then he decided, I want to go get an education. So he left Hollywood and he went and got like 17 degrees.
Really?
And he was going through, I think he was at MIT at the time. But he just kind of wanted to have some fun for a minute. So we went and did Can't Hardly Wait. And I remember he was like doing his work in the trailer and I'm just playing speed metal and smoking a bong. And he's like doing his thesis for MIT. And then he ended up going on to like work at the State Department.
Really?
And now he's a professor in Ohio. You know,
the kid in What About Bob.
Yeah.
He was so good. And Hook and What About Bob are the ones I know him from. He was so good.
Amazing.
And he went on to just have another successful endeavor. That's so cool.
And I reached out to him not that long ago, and I was like, I think about you all the time because you kind of scooted out, And so I'm like, well, what could have been? And he said, I think about you a lot too, like, because you kept going.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
You and Reese have done a couple movies together.
That the first one in Africa. That was with her. Yeah.
She's the one that ran at the rhinoceros with the horn.
I always with Sweet Home Alabama. I think about the accent that I had for that, the Southern, and
this is little did you know you were gonna marry an Alabama woman.
Yep. Didn't know.
Yeah.
And then go to a Roll Tide game. That was awkward.
I'm sure you could do that accent a lot better now.
I wonder.
Really?
Yeah. Southern's hard.
Yeah.
Southern is hard. But for him, I did this
Where are
specific...
you from?
Born and raised L.A.
You were LA born, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For Bobby Ray, I did because he's a gay character. And I think personally that the women's Southern accent is very different than the men's. Beyond just the regional elements of Alabama is very different than Louisiana, different than Texas, different than the Carolinas. Southern accent changes dramatically depending on where you are and the socioeconomic.
Right.
But I think also women have a different Southern accent than men do. And I think that a lot of women speak in question. Like everything they say is in like even a statement ends in the song of a question.
And you're just going up at the end a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
That is one thing we were talking earlier about what drives you crazy if you can tell it's not authentic in a movie. And when people have bad Southern accents where you can really tell that they're not being from Georgia, that takes me out of it a lot.
Yeah.
If somebody, but it's so hard. So you're like, yeah, I get it. Wish they just would have maybe cast somebody that was from here or something.
Or get a dialect coach.
Yeah.
That helps you. Yeah. But nowadays it's much easier. Today with YouTube.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
And access to conversations of people with those accents. It's much easier today.
That's cool.
Like we used to have to go, even just as recent as Brotherhood, we our dialect coach would go around with a tape recorder and record firemen or policemen just having a conversation with that dialect for us to listen to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nowadays you can jump on and just grab it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah. Harold Kumar, go to White Castle.
I've never seen it.
Really?
No, I've never seen it.
What was your role in it?
I don't remember.
It was very small, like just at the beginning and the end. I'm their boss.
Okay.
You know?
Well, talk about your MIT friend, Cal Penn.
Yeah.
He's like in government now.
Really?
Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, he was in like Obama's White House.
Really?
Advisor.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does he work still, or is he do that? He's done. He goes, that's it.
I don't know. He's in suits a lot on Instagram.
Wow. I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
That's like a real job.
Especially going from that movie and being known for that to that level of like respect and government.
Right.
It's just funny. I don't know.
I have one. Walking Dead. I saw one. You're in one episode.
I mean, I was a huge fan.
Yep.
The early stuff was just like
Yeah,
we
so
had never
good.
seen anything like that on TV.
I was in college. We would have everybody would come over to our apartment, and we'd have 20 people watching it every week. It was so fun.
Yep. And the showrunner of that, Greg Nicotero, amazing dude. He's
like the godfather of gore.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Special
he
effects.
ran. I can't remember what the name of the studio, the special effects studio. But he was in charge of making the zombies, and then graduated to running the show. And it's just, it was a great environment. And that's a show I had tried to get on forever. Had auditioned for characters, regular characters a lot. And so when he called up and he's like, I got something, it's one episode. I was like, yes.
Yeah. And what was the
Let's
role?
go. It's season 6, one episode where I was like in Alexandria. I was a dick. I was an asshole.
Yeah.
I got eaten.
That's great.
End of story.
How'd you get eaten? What was the?
When you see one episode Walking Dead, you're like, they got eaten.
Yeah, he got got.
That
Yep,
guy is
that's
gone.
it. Bye.
Did you have face bite?
I got a face bite. It's a pretty good death.
Good.
It's pretty, like, they called it a tree walker because he was like, his intestines had grown into a tree, so he was stuck to the tree. And I didn't see him, and he bit my face.
Interesting.
Yeah, the actor that bit you came down with dysentery after?
Probably.
I was told. Yeah.
Yep.
Still in your system?
Paul, what were you showing?
I got a picture of it right here.
Oh, the face bite.
Just a pre-face bite.
There it is. There's the tree walker.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the tree walker. Yep.
He has no idea.
pull-
Yeah,
you gotta
by
watch it.
season 6, they were coming up with new types of zombies.
Yeah, they're in a tree now. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, you get tree
You
type.
got to watch on YouTube because we're putting that picture up right here.
It got a little crazy, Walking Dead.
I don't remember how far I made it, but
I checked out on 3 or 4.
I don't
like-
think I saw your season.
I liked Fear. I think Fear is pretty great.
I didn't.
You know, but
I didn't watch it.
I mean, come on, Last of Us.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Is that what you were going to say? You were going to say it was good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
it's good.
I
Yep.
was-
Same page.
It's
Yep,
like, that was
same
terrible.
page.
All right, a few more, then we'll get out of here. I don't know what the Witches of Oz is, but your name is Frick.
Huh?
Yeah, your
I don't
name's
know what
Frick.
the Witches of. Oh wait.
You forgot that?
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's like I don't.
Tap into your inner Frick and try to remember.
I think that's this weird thing that I did with Sean Astin,
Really?
where we played like gnomes. Never seen it, but there's a very faint memory. A lot of things from before 13 years ago are faint memories.
You got it.
But I kind of remember going to work and Sean being there and us wearing like elven clothes.
Interesting.
In front of a green screen
Okay.
and like just being really silly.
All right.
All right. Producer Paul has some info for us. I just saw Frick on IMDb. And
Frick.
I'm like, who is Frick?
I think I played like a gnome.
Is this?
Yes.
Oh my
No
god.
way.
Those are like
There's some satin elf uniforms.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One picture and that's it.
Yeah. I
Elf-
can't believe I remembered that.
Whoa.
those are the most exaggerated elf ears of any elf depiction I've ever seen. They're
Imagine
like
having a faint memory
they're like
that
cocker
you hadn't
spaniel.
thought of.
Yeah.
In 15 years, maybe even more, 20 years.
That's great.
And somebody says something, and the first thing that pops into your mind is Sean Astin looking like that.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
That's how he got the role in Lord of the Rings. He did such a good job as an elf. They were like, I think he could do Hobbit.
I wonder if he was doing Lord of the Rings at the time.
That'd feel like a weird
Right?
sideways move.
Wouldn't it?
I don't know. Again, watch on YouTube because
we
we're
saw
showing
your,
the
we
photos.
saw your footage from what is it? Witches of what is the name
Waverly
of
Place.
this? No. What is this?
The
one?
Witches of Oz.
Witches of Oz.
Witches of Oz.
And we'd like to invite you to New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay, we're skipping. Skipping a bunch. The Guest.
The Guest, that's a good movie.
It was a great movie, and that was one I did not expect to see you in,
That was a really good movie.
which was fun.
Wait, I think I've seen that movie. What is it? What happens in it?
Small town, army vet. He's not returning, or is he just passing through?
I believe it's a family whose son and brother was killed over there.
Okay.
And a guy shows up and he's like, "Hey, I was best friends
Right.
with
Gotcha.
your son."
Yeah, and they
kind
take him in for a second.
They take him in.
Right. He becomes the guest.
The Guest. Yeah.
And is it a one-day adventure? Because it all takes place on Halloween, doesn't it?
I know.
Or prom
the
or
end
something?
is I can't really remember. It's been a long time. It's a very good
a
movie.
good movie. I
At
think
some
I've seen
point,
it.
he needs to buy a gun. Mm-hmm. Gun dealer. Ethan.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
The people that made that, the production company that made that, Snoot, they make good movies. Keith and Jessica. They did Guest, Devil's Candy, Blind Spotting, and then they came on late for Cheap Thrills, which I think is also a really
Yeah,
it's a
I've
good
never seen
movie.
it,
It's a
but
good movie.
yeah.
Don't watch it alone. It's fun with friends. It's
Okay.
depressing alone.
All right, got it. Yep. You know, I watch them. I watch
Like
some
The
stuff.
Fray.
I'd be fine.
It's yeah. I
Like
mean,
The
it's
Fray.
Yeah.
it's a little depressing. Alone.
I get that. Okay. Grace and Frankie. I mean, that was a big one. I feel like I'm assuming a ton of people know you from some early work, and they're like, "I grew up with you," and then there's kind of new school
Yep.
people being like, I love Coyote.
What's up, Coyote?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
neighbor only calls me Coyote.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
From
gotta
the
be fun
moment
for them.
and it's fun for me too. The moment that we met outside, I was like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Ethan." Coyote.
Real estate agent didn't tell me there were coyotes in this neighborhood.
Oh.
You howl.
And to the point where my mom, she was staying with me during the pandemic, and I introduced my mother to my neighbor. I was like, "Hey, Street," because that's that's my nickname for her. This is my mom, Karen, and she said, "Oh, you're Coyote's mama." She got mad. She was like, "His name's Ethan."
He's
a real human.
Like, Mama, no, I'm Coyote.
Who's your neighbor? Is she older?
She's my age.
Okay.
She's my age. Army vet.
Got it. I was
she's
expecting like a
absolutely
sweet,
lovely.
like 75-year-old woman.
No,
Okay.
no, tough Army vet.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Love it.
How long? I mean, that's 7 seasons.
7 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. Very fortunate
Yeah.
to have that job. Been doing this a long time, working in this industry, and you never know really where your next job is. And when you're an independent contractor, and it could stop tomorrow, it could keep going. Grace and Frankie was the first time in my career that I had a consistent job, and it allowed us to do, to our life today. We moved to Atlanta. I own a home. And all of the things that I have was because being able to be on that show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a consistent thing like that has to give you so much peace of mind.
It does.
In an industry where it can be so hot or cold, I'm sure
Yep.
at times. Yeah.
And
that's
also
awesome.
playing an idiot, like they say, ignorance is bliss. And to live in the mind of an idiot for 7 years, I was very happy while we were making that show.
That's great.
It's awesome.
All right. 4 more.
You have so many movies. This is taking a long time. 'Cause
Yeah,
you've been in
these
so-
are-
I was
these
looking at
are
your IMDb. I was just like, oh,
fourth of them.
you've been in so much stuff. That's so cool.
The Devil's Candy.
Devil's Candy. I love the Devil's Candy.
I did too.
It's a
I
movie.
really
Aaron Aaron's always trying to recommend scary movies to me that he thinks
Yeah.
I can handle, and I think you've mentioned that one before. Can I handle that?
Maybe.
Okay,
I
definitely
mean, it's not really until the end. The
Yeah.
end is a little jacked.
It's dark.
It's dark.
But it's not.
Yeah.
There's something
all
nice
violence.
about
No.
seeing somebody in a scary movie that you know them in real life, because then you're like, oh yeah, this is a movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of sweaty, wet Ethan abs in that
There's
movie.
a lot. Yeah.
You have
There's a
long
lot.
hair, you're painting,
Yeah,
and you're.
All right,
That's the most ripped you've ever been, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean-
yeah. It's really just skinny. It's all about diet.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's annoying.
Just
Yeah.
get skinny, and then like your muscles are like,
Yeah, your
Look at
muscles
that.
are down there. Oh yeah,
Look at skinny, ripped Ethan.
Yeah,
nice.
skinny
Look
right.
at that hair, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that your real cross tattoo?
That is. Yeah, I have a lot of tattoos. Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, because I don't think that's too much for a person that's away. The end gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
But it's really just a love story, and it's more suspense.
I'm gonna watch it.
Really,
Yeah. It's worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I'll report back next week about how affected I am.
In those, is it one director or 2 directors?
One director.
Okay. And he did the Loved Ones.
The Loved Ones. That's
That
one you
movie's
probably
wild.
shouldn't watch.
Okay,
You could handle it. It's just very violent.
it sounds nice.
It
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 is.
sounds like a Hallmark
Yeah.
movie.
Devil's Candy sounds
It's a prom
rough.
night movie.
Devil's Candy sounds like I should. proceed
Spoiler
with
alert:
caution.
Devil's Candy are kids.
Yep, children.
Oh, he eats the kids.
Nom nom nom.
Nice. Well, I'm not a kid, so that'll
Their
be fine.
tears are sweet.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of some kid eater because I'm not a kid.
Okay, 3 more. Blind Spotting.
I love Blind Spotting.
That is a great movie.
It's a really good movie. Yeah, I remember watching that the first time and just having so much fun watching it. Really, really good. Cinematography, editing, directing, acting, story. Hit it out of the park.
The
Really good.
the climax there. No spoilers.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But tough and great.
Yeah, because the whole idea. So, Blind Spotting is a movie about how each of us have a blind spot to others in our society. There's things that other people are experiencing that we are unaware of and don't take into consideration. We have a blind spot. So, it deals with the main character's blind spot through greater society. And then I play a cop. So I wanted, well, what is his blind spot with the greater society, the target audience of that film? Where does he exist in their blind spot? And I thought, like, it's a story about a cop that kills an innocent black man. And, you know, yes, we as a society, and rightfully so a lot of times, vilify these officers that kill innocent civilians. And I think we don't consider, and police don't consider, how much that damages, not us vilifying them, but the situations damage the officers themselves. It ruins the policing, the culture of policing in America. Not just damages the communities, but it damages the people that agree to be police officers too. It ruins their lives. Like, very rarely are you going to come across a person that is proudly killing people on the street.
Sure.
It's their training, the systemic racism, the abuse of power that they have become poisoned with, and they act on that in a reflex. Oh my God, I just killed somebody. Imagine how damaging that would be to a person.
Yeah.
I mean, it ruins their lives.
You get such a unique perspective when you're putting yourself in a position to play somebody like that. It really makes you think about that type of stuff that most people wouldn't give that much thought to. So that's a cool way to get perspective on a tough dynamic.
How the system is not just hurting us, but it's hurting the people that agree to partake in the system.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a great one. That's a full recommend for everybody.
It's a great movie.
I love how, I mean, it's pretty lighthearted and very funny at the beginning, and then kind of you realize you like these people, and then it gets tough and a lot of tough questions. It's great.
And one of the coolest things about reading this list is you've been in every type of movie. It's like a heavy drama. You've been in horror, comedy, nostalgic, just feel-good movies.
I really need to start making good movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones on here.
What's your average Rotten Tomatoes score?
You're on
If
the
you
heater.
average all
The
your
last like
movies'
5 or
scores.
6 are all bangers.
It's been a good run of recent.
That brings me to First Man.
Yeah.
That's
Good
next on the
movie.
list?
Great movie.
Great movie?
Yep. Great movie.
Watch that one.
I was a glorified extra in that film, and I was happy to be a glorified extra, to be able to sit and watch Damien work and like spend a week at NASA. Get out of town.
Yeah.
Come on. So rad.
In Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. And Florida.
Did you have to do training? Or did they send you on the G-force swing thing?
No, just going there and meeting and talking to people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a conversation I had with a scientist there, very, very religious man, and like a scientist. And I remember the topic came up, like, does all of the things you learn and the access to all of this science, does that affect your faith in any way, you know? And he was like, no, actually it solidifies it. And like, really interesting conversations and meeting amazing people.
Cool.
Yep.
I bet when we were talking about duck you weren't expecting us to get here.
All the way to astronauts
We're
that are
complicated,
religious.
deep folks.
We're a complex podcast.
We're talking about policing.
Yeah.
We're talking about God. And we're talking about Guar. This is Guar. Was the last movie I wanted to talk about. Do you know
It's a
Guar?
really good documentary.
No.
Have you never been to a Guar show?
No.
Not many people have.
I mean, a fair amount of people have been to a Guar show. They've done it for like 40 years.
I feel like it, but that's a very specific group that go to every Guar show.
I'm not okay. Yes, there's a very small
There's like,
amount of people
stumbled
that
into a
go
Guar
to
show.
every Guar show.
Would you guys tell me what this is?
Guar is a metal band from the 80s,
Yeah?
Virginia.
It's like the first Slipknot. That's might be the thing, you know.
And they decided to put on a big show because they were art majors, right?
Yeah.
And so they designed these incredible costumes that and a persona for the band. The band is a group of aliens from outer space, and they're here to try to save the planet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so they show up in these big foam things, and it's very violent, and they spew blood and yogurt all over the audience.
Oh, I have been to that.
Have you been there?
The blood and yogurt. I do remember that. No.
They're like big scary trolls.
I feel like I have a lot of homework after this podcast. I gotta watch a bunch of stuff. We're gonna
They
get
come
really
here.
into
Like
that.
I took Sunny to her first Guar show at the Underground, so they do roll through Atlanta.
All right, let me know next. I'll go with you,
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay.
I'll wear some clothes that
I've never been.
You've never been to a Guar show either?
No.
Oh, it's great.
I did get the invite one time,
It's pretty amazing.
and I was scared.
Granted, when I was 16, because when I was 16, it was the experience. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
I stayed at the bar when I went in my 40s.
Makes sense. All in the back.
Stayed in the back.
Yeah. Yep. What's your homework? Name 3 things you have to do.
I'm gonna watch Devil's Candy.
Nice.
Maybe after I watch the trailer, and then I'll decide. I'm honestly probably gonna watch that thing you do again, so that when we get to the scene in the red outfits, I can really feel the behind the scenes stuff I know now.
Don't watch it in 3D. It gets gross.
I'm gonna not wear my 3D goggles.
You'll notice that I stopped being in the cutaways.
Yeah,
makes
there's no, And then I'm gonna get in, do some research on these Guar shows, find out when they're coming to Atlanta, so I can make sure that oh no, I have a show.
Yeah.
Out of town.
I don't know.
Oh no, I miss it again.
Ethan, thanks so much for
thanks
joining
for having me.
our golf podcast.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me. It's always fun to hang out.
I'd say that you scored under par.
We didn't
as a
talk
guest.
about golf, really.
We checked the
briefly.
box.
We discussed
We're also
it.
going to do
it.
an intro, and we'll mention something at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a golf video.
Yeah, now we end it like a golf round, so we stand up and shake hands.
Take off your hat if you don't mind.
Yeah. Do we have to?
Yep, we have to.